Hey everybody, this is Ben.
And Nora.
Welcome back to the Midwestern Model Shop. So today's a very exciting day because Nora's here, right?
Is that
No, today we are announcing a brand new product. Our
why? Captain Smith.
Smith's. The
Edward John Smith
of Titanic. So what we have today are two, I don't want to say figures. One's a figure, a 120 millimeter full-bodied figure on a stand, and then our 1/10 scale bust of Mr. Smith. So this has been going on for
Months.
a long time, a very long time. We wanted to do a Smith bust and figure both. Basically, it's like one or the other, and we thought, well, we can do both for quite some time. So what we ended up doing, because I am not a soft figure, soft. What do you call it? I'm a hard surface modeler. I'm not a soft surface modeler. What we had to do is hire some help. So we contracted out two different individuals, professional people who know what they're doing, to make our 120 millimeter Captain Smith full figure. He comes in 5 different pieces. So you're going to end up with the body, a hat, his head, and then the two legs. The legs are solid resin. The hat is solid resin, but the body and his head are hollow. When you put them together, he will stand up just fine without any problem. He's perfectly balanced. We've gone ahead and, so for references, I guess we should talk real quick. We found there's a few photos online of Captain Smith. There's one in particular of him kind of, I feel like it's this picture right here. I'll put it up. I feel like he kind of was caught off guard here. Like someone was taking pictures and he turned, he's holding his gloves in his hand and they caught this shot of him. And that's the one that we used for the figure.
The standing
figure. And then for the bust, same kind of idea. It was that photo, right, of the bust up. But then I found some close-ups of his face so I could give the artist, a different artist. We used two artists.
Different angles.
Yeah, different angles to the side and front to try and get his likeness.
And to honor his likeness in the best possible light.
We're trying to go for as much accuracy as we possibly could here. And so I chose an individual whose work is very, very impressive. So what we did for we'll just start out. The 120 millimeter bust, like I said, comes in 5 different parts.
Lovingly bubble wrapped by me.
That's right. Nora's put them all together. And then we did include a little base. It's basically, it's supposed to mimic like a deck. I just wanted to provide you with something that you could put him on. He'll obviously stand up just fine on his own, but this is something that will look really great by your Titanic model that you've put up. If you're a figure painter, this will work out great with your other 120 millimeter figures, and it's something that would be a great addition to the collection. Now the bust, I wanted something a little bit more formal. So we went with the 1/10 scale bust. Tried to be as accurate as possible, and I realized that like the pro bust people, and forgive my painting, I'm not a figure painter. Nora and I both started, this is Nora's work in progress bust.
He's not finished, clearly. He's done this, I don't know what this is. But I'm working on him, and he's shadowed, and I did his coat, and I did his hat. I showed it to a friend of his who's in the model club, and he asked if I had taken lessons or done any other painting. No, I have not, other than big, broad strokes on little fun things. But I thought this was neat. I do plan on finishing him, but Ben was just like, use this, use that, the coat, there's all those different blacks and different finishes and all the things that all of you modelers know. But I've never done it before, but I thought it was really neat. I did his little gold buttons and the medals in his face. He's not done.
But we're working on it, yeah.
Yes, but I think it's really cool.
So yeah, I painted one up that we're going to call it finished. I only have like 4 or 5 hours into it. And then we wanted to include a base for those of you who are not figure painters. I know most of the pro guys, like, you get your figure, you make your own base, you do your own thing. So I wanted to include something for those of us who are new to it. And so this base, and because I was like running out of time, I'm like, I'll just make it look like stone real quick, just as an example. Everything's kind of framed out. If you don't like what the base says, you could cut out a piece of cardstock and slap it right over the top and print off whatever you'd like. You could paint it up any way that you want. You don't have to use the base. It's included as part of the whole package here, just so you have something.
I think it's great if you don't have the tools to make your own base.
Yeah.
It's there. And I love the White Star Line flag. I'm partial to that. And the Harlan and Wolf logo, I think, is very cool.
Yeah, we try to incorporate all the little things on here that honor the White Star Line, honor Captain Smith. I know he may seem controversial to some people out there, especially the conspiracy theory folks, but I recently, watched an expert talk about him. He really was Johnny on the spot in terms of paying attention to what's happening while the ship is at sea. They figure he had at least another 3 years left. He wasn't about to actually retire. He was taking each brand new ship out for White Star Line on the maiden voyage. He chose his officers very carefully. He was attentive. He wasn't drinking on the job. They tried to say, oh, he was asleep in his cabin. He was in his cabin. He was not asleep when they got the warning about the icebergs. He was up on purpose because they knew they were entering the ice fields.
I mean, guys got to sleep sometime.
Well,
even if he was asleep,
take cat naps, right? Cat naps, but you do what you got to do when you're the captain. And so, right. I want to show you. Hopefully, you'll see this here. His likeness in the raw model is a little bit more stern looking, I guess, than how mine turned out.
Yeah, I think that's what's cool about it, because mine's going to look completely different than yours.
It is.
Simply because of the way we paint and my lack of skills, but I think I know how I'm going to fix it.
There you go. But, and that's something about figure paint I'm learning, because this is like the second thing I've ever painted. How you feel about the individual, you can convey. Please give me a break on the eyes. Eyes are hard, and these are the first two I've ever painted, or four, right? Because I did the short guy, the 120 millimeter one. You could change the attitude of the character. So whether you feel like he was a serious person, if he was mortified of what was going on, if he's just an onlooker, you have the ability to create the mood in your figure. Despite how he's molded. But we wanted to give you the best possible mold we could. I will talk real briefly here about, you are going to have to do a little bit of cleaning up. It's impossible to print these things without having supports. The supports have to be removed. Nora and I remove all of the supports for you in advance, so all you got to do is some cleanup. The cleanup that has to take place is going to be on the back of the figure in very smooth areas. The detailed areas, his beard, the medals, his face, the hat, there are no supports on any of that. Very little, if any, cleanup is necessary. You just need to prime it and get going.
I did that before I painted.
Yep, Nora took care of all that stuff.
Little sanding stick.
So we tried to make these as ready to go as we possibly can. And I think that's really it, right? So these are available for sale on our website, themidwestmodelshop.com. Link is in the description down below. We have plenty available in stock. We're not anticipating running out anytime soon.
Thank you to everyone who supports the shop.
We do. We really do appreciate it. It means a lot. And we're hoping that this is something that you could put next to your Titanic model and be proud of. A bust of the Captain Smith you could take to work and put on your desk or put on your display somewhere else, 1/10 scale. There's a lot here. The Titanic is so much about people, right? Versus just the ship. It's obviously a beautiful ship and it was a tragedy, but this is a significant figure in history and in the story of the ship, and we wanted to do our best to represent him, especially because we could only find 2 other ones, right? The options are pretty pretty
Their
slim.
options are very, very slim.
Yeah, so we wanted something that was like as pro level as possible,
right?
To make available to the public. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Ciao, ciao. Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Watermelon. So, all right. So we'll do the hello and wave and. Just kind of.
Captain Smith.
Yes. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go.